Down here in Florida, especially this time of year, we don't have cold starts because it rarely gets below 75, 70 degrees even at night. We have wet starts. It rains just about every day. Even though I've got this lovely galvanized steel tarp over everything, everything always still gets soaked. So that can wreak just as much havoc on your motorcycle starting systems as, a cold start will. Your air filters get wet and rust develops in your electrical bits and everything, So even though I can't do a cold start for you all, I'm going to do a wet start of all the bikes. It's kind of exciting. All my bikes are running for the first time, I think, ever. I've had every single motorcycle in this driveway is running good. And so I don't really know what to do with myself. So I'm just going to demonstrate them all and show you all what I got left. And y'all let me know what you think. First thing we got here is a 2003 Baja buggy, just a little shitty little thing, all stock and everything, nothing too super about it. Anyone who knows their seats, you guys tell me what motorcycle seats these are from. And that's all pretty redneck and tore up and everything. But there's some nice features about it. We got hydraulic disc brakes, which are cool. We got, suspension. We got 4 shocks and everything with these big yellow springs and everything. Chain driven 150cc motor. Let's see, we got rack and pinion steering, automatic transmission here, and this thing just purrs like a kitten. So now I'm gonna hop in it. We'll fire it up. Alright, next on the wet start is my 1982 Yamaha XT 550 Enduro. This is my personal bike. Y'all have seen it in some other videos. I'm not going to go too far into it, but it's a good bike. Always have fun on it. It does require a couple of kicks at least to get going, just because there's so much compression. So I'm going to turn the gas on, choke it, turn the ignition on. Hey, look at that! Next bike we have here is the very last one that I just completed a couple days ago. This is a 1974 Honda CB360, a inline twin cylinder engine. Very rare. I believe they only made them for like 2 years or something. This thing is a screamer. Man, once I got it firing on 2 cylinders, man, this thing is fast. Super light, high revving, just a beast of a machine. I love riding this thing. If I could take it to California, I definitely would. So, let's crank this bad boy out. Next we got my wife's bike, a 84, I believe, 83 Suzuki Matic. We've had this one about a year. Haven't really driven it much. She never really got into it. Fun little bike. It's a buzzy little thing. Not terribly fast because it's got a 2-speed automatic transmission rather than the regular 5 or 6-speed gearboxes that the XT and the CB and most other motorcycles have. So this one has the weakest battery, so I hope it will start. gas on, choke. What we have here is a 1982 Honda CM450. Also a cool little bike, man. I got this thing. There's kind of a sad story behind it. This guy couldn't get it running, and it was his dad's bike, and his dad died, and so he gave up and sold it to me, you know, da-da-da. And I got it running, and I really was feeling really tempted to call him and be like, hey man, you know, like, I'll give it back to you or whatever, you know, or I'll just sell it back for you super cheap, but I don't know. I mean, there's always the risk that, you know, people feel like you're mocking them or you're, I don't know. I just let that sleeping dog lie. But this thing purrs like a kitten. It just runs really, really well. We're missing the side panel over there, but we do have the side panel on this side. See, right down there, CM450. This one runs really nice, and it's actually sold to the member of one of the girls on my wife's roller derby team. So, let's start this one up. Choke, full choke. Whoa! Spoke too soon on that choke. So this is my other bike. It is a 1985 Suzuki Madura GV1200. Working on about 44,000 miles. This bike took me across the country and back, multiple trips up and down the eastern seaboard. I love this bike. I'll always hang on to this bike. It's the other one that's coming with me to California, and it's just the beast of a bike. Always starts up, super reliable. So this is the final bike. It is a 1987 Honda Super Magna 700. Good to have this one back in the driveway. You guys might remember it from a previous video. I fixed it up and sold it to my buddy Jake. He rode around on it for the better part of a year, and then decided to go home and didn't want to bring it with him. So he sold it back to me for just peanuts, man. I went ahead and sold it to somebody else. Sold it actually to another member of my wife's roller derby team, and they're going to start their own little vintage Japanese motorcycle gang. Well, this is a cool bike, man. A V4 engine, this upturn exhaust system here, and the scalloping, and the solid rear wheel, and I just think it looks really neat. That seat still isn't repaired yet, but again, that's the current owner's problem, not mine. This bike runs really sweet. Gas on. So, those were my machines. Hope you all enjoyed them.